Okay everyone, so finally I'm about to start this pack. So it's currently like that outside, so I have to stay inside today and do something in the heat here. So if you haven't seen this before, what I'm doing here is I'm building a custom pack for an e-bike. And it's an e-bike that I'm building. So I've designed this capsule and I've manufactured this capsule to contain the cells to match the frame of this bike. Okay, so it's made out of stainless steel. I've got the epoxy glue ready to go. I'm not using spacers. I'm gluing the cells, but I'm gluing them in a way that I'm not overly gluing them. So a wee bit of epoxy glue on the four sides of the cell, so it'll create like a honeycomb effect. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm just going to bring the camera up close. I have to run with this 4K camera too because I need to create a YouTube video for it, a main video. So this is only a live stream. So here we have the configuration set for my pack, which is 72 volts, 50 amp hour. So it's basically like having two battery packs in series. Okay, two 36-volt packs in series. So here's the cells within the frame of the bike. As mentioned, this capsule is purposely, specially built for this purpose that I'm going to do here now. So hopefully it works. So obviously I'm going to start off with the cells down low here. I don't want to leave this capsule, this stainless capsule, all glue. So I just need to be careful. There has to be two battery packs built, so, or two banks. So one bank, left bank and right bank. What else did I need to mention here? I think that's about it. I just want to point out, you see these lower cells down here at this point? I'm going to do lows on the bench because it's kind of tricky and awkward, you know, down at the bottom here of the capsule. So the idea of the capsule here is to keep the cells all nice and square, nice and uniform. So the pack's basically built like it was sitting on a bench, but we're keeping this unique shape, okay? So that's basically what the capsule does, and it's my design and it's my creation, so hopefully it works. We're gonna start here now anyway. And bring the camera up close, or the phone. So the hair there is not for heating me up, it's for heating the glue. Because it's cold. Must be -1. I know that's not cold before anybody says anything compared to Canada, but you do get the ones given the comments. Right. So we'll bring this down. Right. I need to set up the other camera here now. So the glue I'm using is not hot glue. It's I'm using a high temperature epoxy. So also, just to point out here, I'll start the other camera because we require this information for it. So let me get set up here first. So I was meant to be doing another project today, but as you can see from outside, snow's on the ground and it's just too cold to be outside working. So, just before I run the other camera here, I wasn't meant to be live streaming this because I don't want to end up in any handlings. So, we'll see how it goes. I might keep a live stream running. Testing. Okay, so today I am following on with this battery pack build. So I've got my plans set out there attached to the computer screen. We have the configuration set, so 72 volts, 50 amp hour. We have a left bank and a right bank. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this capsule that I created, I think it was last year, for this e-bike. So here we have the cells contained within the bike frame itself. The capsule mimics the bike frame to a very high precision. The cells are also sitting ready. I just want to point out here, black cell seen here corresponds to purple in the plans, okay? Yellow corresponds to yellow and green corresponds to orange. So for this one, just sprinkle a tricolour. Green, orange, green's always with the orange. Why did I not get orange shrink wrap or purple? Because I don't think I could get it, to be honest. But anyway, it'll be grand. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to place this camera on the stand and I'm going to get started. I just want to point out here, to see this lower end of the capsule, I'm going to be, these 6 cells from this point to the bottom here of the capsule are going to be glued on the bench, just to keep them nice and flat. This is a flat surface from this point to this point. So I just thought it'd be easier to do those first 6 cells out here on the bench, and then we'll start working in the capsule itself with the cells. We'll start loading the capsule with the cells, I should say. So we'll get started here. Boom! So the 4K is important here. Speaking on the live stream here now. Right. So I'm not going to be lifting the phone and going to the plans here because I'll do that now before I get started. So this live stream will be linked up to the main video in the future. I do that with all my projects. I link up the live streams to the main video. So if we look now on this plan here, right, we have 2 plans facing us. So that's basically the left bank, and on this side we have the right bank. So we have the strings, the grips, the parallel cell grips contained in here, and I have them labeled 19 to 20. So one starts here, look. So this is where my negative terminal is connected to this pack. So at this side of the pack, which is the right hand side of the bike, we have the copper buzz bars marked out. So this will be all cut out, or all drew out in CAD, and it will be all cut out of waterjet. So I need to get started here now. The buzz bars will be 2mm thick, by the way. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Not going to speak too much when I'm doing that. Only for the other camera. Right. Hey. Testing. So this is the first time I've used this epoxy glue, so hopefully it's not too cold. I might need to heat it here. We'll see the crack in a minute. So what I'll do, rather than taking the cameras to the computer screen, I'll bring the plan off here. So if I've marked out here now, well, purple should align with black, right? So the black cells I'll be using in place of the purple on these plans. So I mentioned that I was doing 6 cells on the bench. So that is this cell, this cell, this cell, this cell, this cell, and this cell. So that will be black, 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 and orange corresponds with green. So it'll be a green cell, number 5, and then number 6 cell, just talking about the row here. Number 6 will be black again, but the polarity of that cell will be the only one facing this way, positive polarity, okay? So I'll get started here, and as I say, we don't know what way this glue is going to work out yet. Because initially I was going to hot glue these, and then I changed my mind because the hot glue not good enough. So let me heat this up first. So you want to see it running, like, you know the way it's moving side to side there? So I'm going to try and use one applicator for the 2 packs, just these 2 rows, because I've got 24, so I'm okay. This is going to be a slow part here, and then we're going to work into the actual building the cells in the capsule. That should be okay. Right, let's get started. So we need 1. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this straight edge, and the negative pole should be facing out towards me, so I'll be sitting this here. But the very first cell, I'm going to be squaring it up like this off the straight edge, basically like this. So the cells, even though the cells can be touching tight, they could be sitting off on an angle. I don't want that, because the capsule is designed to keep the cells nice and straight. So if you can imagine, if I get this wrong and put it in there, the other cells might end up being run off a wee bit. So I'm really going into depth here. So I'm going to bring the cells up and line them together. So 4, remember, 4 cells, which are purple, so the black corresponds with the purple, and I need to keep these cells tight to this piece of aluminium. So the next cell now is going to be orange, so orange corresponds with the green cell. So remember, I've got these cells double coated. Well, I coated one layer myself. So here we go, and then we're going back to purple, because purple is the, what do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need the other plan, or not. Purple is string number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, I'm not going to confuse things here. I'm going to put this back up. And we'll get started. I'll bring this one down for the camera, just. This one's better. It's the numbers. Start for number 1 rather than working backwards. So, here we go. So negative, negative. The 2 packs are identical, but the buzz bars are positioned like a mirror image, if you can imagine. So we're going to use this glue now, right? And so just getting this right here in my head. So that's it. Okay, so I need to glue those cells and then place them into the capsule. As mentioned, the reason I'm doing it this way is just to make things a wee bit easier starting off, okay? I'm not going to rush this. If it takes a few live streams, I don't really care. Okay everyone, get a drink of water here. So hopefully that camera is good enough for that live stream. I'm going to turn the other one off to save the battery. Should be alright. So black, 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 and then green corresponds to orange, and then black. So the only cell that's switch directions. The polarity switch is this one here, okay, the end one. And that corresponds to this point here, number 6 cell up from the bottom. So start the other yak again. So I'll give this a wee heat again. End up going out with a bang when you see. Well, I hope this glue is good because it's the first time I use it. I usually work with Gorilla brand. It needs more heat. So I don't want to make a mess here. I want to keep it nice and uniform. It's too cold, you know. Right, I'm going to have to go for it. It's not as runny as I would have liked now. I'll be honest. So I'm not working to the outside of the cell. Maybe about 5 mil in. Keep it nice and neat. And then once the side they roll away, so I need something to sit there. What am I going to get? Okay, so that should be alright there to keep them from rolling. So I want the glue sort of to go down between the cell a wee bit. Just pull them apart for a second, squash them again. Like that. I need something heavier there. So these cells are glued, I'm just squaring them up. Remember, we only have 5 minutes of time of this applicator at the end here. So I like the glue already, it's really nice and smooth here. So I'm not putting too much on this because remember, I have a plan on the way I'm going to cool this pack. And I want the air to be, oh, cells moved there. Right, I need something heavier for the end here. Need a rag, where's my rag at? Where'd I do it? So I'm just squaring them up. And we're going to do this last cell here. It'll get easier when we put them in the pack, by the way. Right, so that's them 6 done. I'm just going to make sure they're nice and neat. I don't want any mess here. Because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So keeping these nice and square. I need to wax this bench because it's for the research. Right, you know something? I don't know how I'm going to do this. I need to get another bit of paper. That is perfect. So that's them 6 cells looking nice and square. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump straight over to the other 6 and try and use this applicator on the epoxy stick here, or on this glue. So what do we see here now? Need more. So remember, the polarity has to be right, of course. 4, and then we're going to use a green, and then another black for the different group. Does them here look okay? Do they look okay? Just going to double check them here. Yeah, they're perfect. So this now is for the other bank. I'll keep it up close here so you can see. Right, I've checked the polarity is perfect. I'm going to put this back in, and we're going to run the glue on top of them here. Nice and neat, of course. We want the gaps, the honeycomb effect through the cells. And we're going to put this in here to stop any handlings and then roll away. Right, here we go. Again. So we'll try and do this with 1 even meter, right? It's fairly hardened up, you know. I'm trying to get it out, get it running. See, I mean, it keeps running up. Last cell. So it runs nice and smooth, nice and clear here. Right, so I think that stick's done now, because I want to get these set before I start building the actual pack here. So again, just giving them a wee pull apart for a second, like that, to make sure the glue's down in between. Perfect. Now we're going to square them up here. Perfect. Right, so we'll let these set and then we'll start working off the capsule here. Okay, so all our cameras off, get it out of the way. So it actually takes an hour for us to set. I think I read this. So I'm just going to give these cells a wee quick wipe at the top. This one in the way, of course, so we're hitting the aluminium. So the glues run nice and even. I'll bring the phone up in 2 seconds. Just give me a second. So I'm just squaring the cells up to the aluminium bar. The aluminium channel here. The angle iron. Or angle piece even. Aluminium angle, should I say. So there we have the glue run nice and smooth. You can't really see it, can you? Looks beautiful. So keeping the cells tight to the piece of aluminium too. So the piece of aluminium sort of mimicking this back wall on the capsule. Yeah? So the only cell... I've done this wrong. This one's round the wrong way. Jeffrey made a mistake. Let me see if I can fix this without making a mess. It's a good job I spotted that, eh? Talking too much. I got it fixed without making a mess, I think. Got it. I got it. Whew! See what I mean? Knock out the cell in the wrong way because I'm concentrating on 2 cameras here. So as long as it's nice and tight again, which it is, the glue hasn't set yet, so we're alright. Lucky boy. Let's see if I can get this down a wee bit lower. I was too fixated on the cameras there, I got mixed up. It's alright anyway, it run nice and smooth again. Happy with this glue now. But the only thing now, this applicator's done because I'm not using this for another hour. And I'm lucky I've got 24. But when I go to build the pack, we'll be going through the applicator will do much more cells, you know what I mean? I think I'll just keep that off. So I'm gonna go get something to eat. So you can see there how fussy I am. I'll go back and check if they're square. So the reason I'm putting minimal amount of glue on these epoxy glue is because I don't want to have the surface area of the battery completely covered with the epoxy. I want to blow air through it. That's the plan. So I'm just hoping that these cells are still nice and neat underneath them. Not going to touch it now, it's okay. I'm going to just double check now. Make sure I haven't made any more blips here. Negative, 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 4. The next one then is green, orange, purple's black, so positive pole facing us. That's it. 100%. Right, I'm going to go get something to eat, everyone. So in the next live stream, I'm going to be continuing on here. Not going to try and not talk too much. Well, we'll be working on the capsule and the capsule only, so it'll be far easier than doing what I've done here with the square. So the reason I've done this again is to try and keep the capsule nice and clean. And also, these 6 cells down at this point are straight from here to here in the capsule. So I just thought to be easier to do on the bench and keep them square, but just to start to pack off. So thanks for watching everyone to the genuine, but also thanks for watching to the haters. Goodbye.